So, Jed, tell us about what you have right here. You have silver and you have gold.
So I have a kilogram of silver, which is 32.15 ounces, and then I have a 10-ounce gold bar. And of course, when you see something that big, how do I know that's real? So we have a device, it's a spectrometer, that we can put, that x-rays the bar, and I've got it all set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point the device at the silver, and I'm going to get a reading. Put it on there maybe 4 or 5 seconds. It will read right into the bar. It'll come back. And if you can pick that up, right on the screen, it says AG, which is the chemical sign for silver, 99.99% pure. You know that this bar is absolute. There were some companies years ago that were making silver and gold, and it wasn't coming out exactly pure. And what happens then is, if we find that, we just throw it in the melting pot and then bring it up to pure, because you don't want to sell a bar that's 94, 95% pure. So it's out there, which is why we spent $20,000 on this piece of equipment that we can count. We can find a counterfeit bar. If it's not pure gold, we know right then. And this has paid for itself many times over, because so many times somebody will come in and say, well, hey, I've got this big block of gold and I want to sell it. Okay, let's have a look at it. You go through it, it's pyrite, or it's copper, or it's zinc.
Gold and silver are God's money. They were here when the earth was formed. It'll be here long after we're all gone. I think what gold is element 74 and silver is 40. I know I flunked chemistry also, but they're part of the periodic table. 9 million years from here, gold and silver, Bitcoin will be gone. I don't know. I'm not going to be here. I got about 20 more good years, So I just know gold and silver are God's money. Crypto is people's money.
Cash for gold. I'm one of the few people who absolutely despise cash for buying gold. And you'd think just the opposite, that I couldn't wait to get cash. But banks don't want it. Try and deposit $20,000 or $50,000 in cash. They'll turn you away and say, well, we got to do this, that, and the other. And we've got to file this form, and we got to do that. Hey, I would rather have a bank wire than cash anytime. Let's say I acquire $1 million or $2 million in cash that the banks don't want to take. When this currency is repudiated, I'm going to be stuck. Just like the people in Germany were twice in the 20th century, that they were hauling wheelbarrows full of Deutschmarks for a basket of groceries.
And that's fake money brought Hitler to power. The Weimar Republic and the Reichsmark and all this. Every time there's fake money, tyrants rise up because people know something is wrong.
They want security, and security is a trap. Right? Why would you save money when Biden's going to print $7 trillion? What happened in 2008 was the market crashed, and they only gave guys like me money. So in this last crash, last March, they gave me even more money because I'm a capitalist. I can take money and put it to work. The average person cannot, because they had to find a way. Bernanke called it helicopter money, or somebody did. They had to find a way to get the money straight into the people's hands, because the average person's, their credit is so destroyed, they can't borrow money. If we don't borrow money, the economy collapses. Like this hotel, all the hotels, all the buildings in New York City are floating on debt. Right? 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. The US dollar became debt. So I learned to borrow. 72, I took classes on how to borrow money. And Dave Ramsey says, get out of debt. Well, it's a free country. Choose what you want to learn. And so I chose to be an entrepreneur. My poor dad wanted me to fly for the airlines, get my PhD, and teach. And so I can make more money as a teacher as an entrepreneur. He goes, but you don't have a PhD. I said, no, but I got cash.
So once again, this is 1964. 1964, I was 17 years old. I started looking at that thing like this. It was copper. The Romans did the same thing way back in the end of their empire. So what were they doing when they put copper in this thing? It's a law called Gresham's Law. What does Gresham's Law mean?
Bad money drives good money out of circulation.
So this money went into hiding. So I had bags of it. I used to go caddy, take my dollars, go to the bank, and pull out all the real stuff and hide the real stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I was 17 years old. I wasn't the brightest kid on the block, but I just knew this was fake. I mean, this was fake now. And then I come back from school a year later, my mother spent it. I said, anyway, is poor people don't know real money from fake money. So what happened in 71, this became debt. So I'm in our company, our Rich Dad, we encourage people to use debt.
I first started investing in silver in 1964 when I was in high school. And I saw that dime had a copper tinge to it. I said, "Que pasa? What are they doing?" Well, that's called, what's that, fake money? And what they had done in 64, they took the silver out of the silver coins. That's what Gresham's Law kicks in, right? It says, when fake or bad money comes into the system, good money goes into hiding. Well, I'm like 15 or 16 years old in 64, and I go, what are they doing? And so I started taking my dollars to buy packets of dimes. I'd go through them, take out all the copper ones, turn the copper ones back into the bank, and keep the silver ones. So by the time I left for college, I had a bag full of real silver coins. I didn't know why, but that's Gresham's Law, that humans are smart. They know fake from bad. Well, most people do.
I still remember being one of those junior miners pitching my mine. And I was right. I was absolutely correct. We had the biggest mine in history in China, except I didn't understand country risk. And China, like I said, China's buying oil from Saudi Arabia in yuan is a big move to me. It's huge. It means China saying, F you, US dollar. That's what it means to me. And mommy and daddy are still out there trying to save a few dollars, work hard to get a pay raise for $15 an hour. They're completely out of touch with what's going on in the world. Distribution and accumulation. Price of silver is low, and silver and gold or oil, I'm accumulating. I've been accumulating since 72. I own more gold than most people, most of the gurus on TV. I own gold mines, silver mines, because I believe in this stuff, because this is